Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's another edition of Politics on the Street or News Update. Today we'll be looking at the statement made by made by Ohanaeze and the Ipob. The Ohanaeze movement and the Ipob movement have told Igbos not to join this economic hardship protest. He said that Nigerians, he says, see, they should allow Nigerians solve their business, solve their issues. The Ipob and the Ohanaeze movement have told Igbos not to join this protest. Sir. You as an Igbo man, how will you react to this, sir?
Okay, I'm not going to look at it from that angle of being somebody from that extraction. I'm going to look at it from two angles. One, I'm going to interpret it based on, because I read the press release by the Ohanaeze Ndigbo, asking Igbos not to participate in the ongoing strike
Economic hardship
over hunger and all that, and the IPOP also made a press release, in that regard. But look at it from your perspective, from the perspective of the Igbo nature, and also look at it from the perception of a nation like Nigeria. What is the relationship between the Igbo and Nigeria since 1953 to date? In 1953, that was when the first killing of Igbos started in the north. Till date, Igbos are still being gunned down. Igbos are still being denied of leadership in this country. 2023 was not an exception. It was glaring to everybody of the seemingly gang up and continuation of the blueprint of Nigeria. The foundation of Nigeria is corruption and compromise. That's the blueprint of Nigeria. So if you look at that word compromise, if you are not careful, you misinterpret it. That is not the truth. As it stands now, instead of going to the streets, because history, when there was EndSARS, they said it is Nnamdi Kanu. That's when there was the issue of elections. A third came to a third in Lagos here said that he doesn't want to see Igbos in the polling units. That is true. Igbos are being killed. There's mass murder of Igbos in the east currently now, and this thing has been going on.
By the Nigerian government.
If for adventure, imagine if for adventure with the similar sentiment around the Igbo nation and the continuous incarceration, illegal detention, incarceration of the symbol of Igbo nation, that is Nnamdi Kanu. Igbos are not in the mood to come out to say there is hunger strike.
Okay, so
what they did now was to devise a means to avoid the bullets of the Nigerian system.
to avoid the bullet of the Nigerian system.
Once the Igbo man steps out in solidarity or of the people of the lower class about given the situation on ground, they're not going to target any other person. The shops will be targeted all over 36 states. People will be gunned down on different locations across the nation. That is why they are saying, in their wisdom, stay at home. That stay at home is a form of protest too. To avoid the insanity of the Nigerian bullets always pointing on that direction of eliminating Igbos, even though they are not part of the cause. And if you look at it from another angle too, a lot of people will see it as a solidarity to the government in place. Because if you look at that statement very well, Ohanaeze also said that Tinubu should be given time to fix the hardship in the country now.
So it should be given time
It was in that statement. So that's what I'm telling you. They are just being careful because they have seen the way the political circle is moving, or decisions that have been taken when they have to do anything that has to do with Igbo. It's a different ball game.
It's a different ballgame. Just I think in spite of this, during the last election, we saw how Igbo homes were being targeted. How we saw how some Igbos were being disenfranchised, preventing them from going to vote. How we saw how some Igbos were being maltreated. Now, don't you think hunger to me is the common thing, and the Igbos not suffering from this economic hardship too? So why wouldn't they join the protest too, sir?
It looks as if like that Igbo, look at what the president has just done. He has increased the import tariff.
Yes,
He wants to weaken the Igbos the more.
He wants to weaken the Igbos.
Yes, that's the thing between Tinubu, South in the north. The way the Yorubas approach Igbo is different from the way a northern man approach Igbo. It takes a northern man several time for anything rioting against Igbos in the north. But the Yorubas, they cunningly do it. Don't give us to an Igbo man in Lagos. That's what is going on now.
Okay? Don't give them some.
Political destruction of the Igbo man business centers in Lagos is going on now. This government has done a lot of psychological damage
against the Igbos.
To an ordinary person, because the people are Republicans, it looks as if that the Igbos are not part of what is going on in Nigeria. Igbos have decided that this is our own form of protest. We are not going to be physically present.
So you boycott the protest.
It's not about boycotting the police. It is their own way of protesting. I'm not saying they're not going to protest. They say they are not going to be on the street like other people because they are the victims of the situation.
They are victims of the situation.
And that is what they are saying. And that's the message they are passing across. And that is the message that goes everywhere. Another angle is that this compromise, which is a blueprint, corruption, gang up
against the Igbos,
which is a blueprint also, is people are seeing it from another angle, that Igbos are just making mockery of the government of today for having said briefly. That's some other people are looking at it from that angle, that Igbos are not protesting because they are like, I told you people the consequences of bringing somebody who is not known to Nigeria to govern Nigeria.
But sir, but my question is that if the Igbo protest, physically join this protest on the street, which impact will it have in our today economy, sir? Being an Igbo man,
the impact that is going to have if Igbos participate in this protest, the impact is going to affect directly Igbo man wherever they are. It's going to have a negative impact on Igbo man. Shops will be destroyed, taxes will be raised. You can see it. What is happening recently? The federal government has increased importation tariff. Igbos can no longer before you can clear anything in a proper there, you have to have billions of naira.
So okay, is that policy targeted?
Their policy is, that's what I'm telling you, that Nigeria is all about compromise and corruption.
Compromise and corruption.
Yeah, that's the blueprint. If you sit down and look at Nigeria very well, two things works for Nigeria. Compromise, that's gang up. The second one is corruption. And all these things is being used as a weapon. That Tinubu has armed his nuclear economic arsenal capability to wipe away the lower class. And the lower class are saying this nuclear weapon is aimed at us. and they said no, we are going to the street to tell the government that it is no longer acceptable. That is how how it is. So nothing, anybody that is bringing any kind of sentiment to it to understand that Nigeria is a passport already.
But we've seen so many Igbos come out to say they are enjoying this Tinubu government, that they say Nigerians deserve what they voted for. Now, are you being, you to be an Igbo man, are you enjoying this government?
Is it the people that said it? That is how you people listen.
No,
me Amechi was the one who came out to tell Nigeria ab initio that what they are seeing today is as a result of what they asked for.
But he's not Amechi, not an Igbo man.
I'm telling you, I'm just making reference where the thing started from. That was started from. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So they're just trying to tell them that Nigeria has an option, a clear option to choose. You see, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, we have a competent, tested, trusted, reliable, globalized, and reliable, uncorrupt candidate CPOB. The second person in that list is Abubakar Alhaji Atiku. Those were the two masters that is supposed to take government from where Buhari swallowed it and make it visible. But this man that started claiming Jagaban, oh yeah, you saw what the minister of sports said, Lalong. He said, now you have hijacked power. Oh yeah, the guy has pressed the wrong button. Tinubu pressed the wrong button, ab initio.
Tinubu has pressed the wrong button.
Ab initio. And there is nothing he can do about it. Because he go enter no gree for anybody.
He go enter no gree for anybody.
I will tell you.
Are you no? Okay, now lastly, before I let you go now. Now, what is your advice to the Igbos? To the Igbos, they are saying that they also want to join the protest. Are you also saying that they should obey what the Ohanaeze and the Ipob have told them to not to join the economic hardship protest?
In every circle, there's leaders. That's one thing you have to think. There are people who are not comfortable with that ultimatum. There are people who see that ultimatum as a threat to their own business and threat to their own personal life. So those ones who feel that they are not comfortable, that they believe in this project, and what they believe that this policy is not going to work, they should also join. It's a free world. That's the thing. It's a free world.
But I'd like to let you go. Lastly, you being an Igbo man, will you join this protest?
No,
protest?
No, I'm not going to join any protest. Do you know why I'm not going to join any protest?
No, sir.
The reason is very clear. I was once a pro-democrat. I believe that this administration, to an extent, is being sabotaged.
It's been sabotaged.
Yes. What that means is that the law of karma is taking place. The same thing they did to Jonathan is the same thing they are going to experience.
The law of
But
karma.
how they are going to navigate from out of it, it is a story for another day.
It's a story for another day. You've listened to our guest, Mr. Michael Chiedu. He said the Igbos would not join this protest, that Nigeria should solve their economic issue. Thank you for always coming to our program, Police on the Streets on News Updates. Thank you, sir.